Hello everybody, welcome to a relatively review-esque video, I suppose, of Tsuro, the game of the path. Tsuro, I don't know how to actually say the name. This game is a board game, physical board game that came out in 2009, I believe. I was looking at the manual that's available on Steam of the original game, and I've only played this. I've never heard of this game before this. This game is coming out in approximately 1 day, and instead of my usual first look videos, I've already played this game for about 3.5 hours, and I'm having a real great time. So here's your starting board. It's a 6x6 grid. You can pull one of these pieces for yourself, and that would be you. If you want to play against AI, you can drag any of these pieces and move them to silly, clever, or tricky. That's basically relative difficulty levels. All these bright spots are starting points on the grid, and when you're ready, you can play. The traditional game rules, let's just poke a couple of them into that, is that you start with a game and you just basically make paths with the pieces that are available to you. You can rotate these pieces. I have a turbo mode turned on, which is why things are moving a bit faster. The default mode is a bit slower, and yeah, there's a pretty good tutorial. But in any case, the point of this is to drive your opponents off the board, and you start with one area and you can end up with, well, that does drive an opponent off the board, but it also drives me off the board, so that won't do. That'll do. Anyway, so that eliminates that pinkish purple elimination, and that allows me to take one of their card tiles and drag it into my hand. I don't know why it keeps on showing that, but you can click on the deck if you don't want to exchange anything. To me, it's really not a huge deal whether I exchange anything or not, but we'll just keep on going. The game ends when there is only one tile left. You can draw with you can draw against a opponent if you are both eliminated by the same turn. Anyway, shouldn't really have any major difficulty staying alive here, I hope. I think he'll just probably drive himself off the board because he's a so-called silly opponent. Every single time you cross over one of your own path, previously drawn path sections, is called a loop, and that accounts for something when you're playing, following some of the additional rule sets that have been outlined by this digital version. But the traditional game, well, this guy is done, so if I stay alive this turn, he'll be gone. Alright, so there we go. So that's the traditional game. And then there's solo play, where you can just kind of play with yourself. You just drag a single piece. I don't know why I always use this tile, probably because it's right in front of me. This square is my starting location. I just drag this piece to the the board and I start playing. In solo play, you just play on until you run yourself off the board. And instead of elimination, it's more of a, it counts how far your tile is moving, your piece is moving, your stone is moving, sorry, and how many loops you get. So you can sort of reasonably piece out. As you can see, you can kind of just play without any kind of thought, really, if you wish. And so there, you just, you know, that's the end of the game because the pieces run off the board. In a traditional game, you can't place any tiles that would drive you off the board or eliminate you unless there's no other options. In the solo mode, it's just whatever. So in this particular case, it was 5 tiles, 45 centimeters, and 2 loops. The path crossed twice. And you can see there my max score is 357. I don't know if I'll reach there again. That was a very long path, and I used all 35 tiles, and was an interesting game. Anyway, there's another really interesting part of this game, which is this thing right here. See a bomb? That turns on what's called fuse mode, and it's only available in solo mode. So if you start a game here, this is going to get a little crazy pretty quick, so I'm going to have to do some concentrating, but we'll see how it goes. But after a couple of moves, by the time I start doing, I think maybe by the time I click on one of these or by the time I start, I'll have to see, but the this is going to start lighting up like a fuse. I guess it's from the time that I place it. And then it's the game counts how many times you've made loops and your total distance traveled. And it's just a nerve-wracking kind of a game. Nevertheless, it's pretty fun. And your score is a multiplier of all your... Uh-oh. Can I stay alive doing this? I'm not so sure. Your score is a multiplier of all your loops. Oh boy. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Your score is your distance multiplied by the number of loops, and my top score was some... You can see where you pass by your friends' high scores and stuff when you play. Also, if you pass by your own personal high score, that'll show up as well. Anyway, the game keeps track of what you've done by personal statistics. Oops. And then it also shows you... I don't know what that is. Maybe leaderboards? I guess it tells me what my account information is, and anyway, so there's that. There's also, just in the traditional game, if you're playing against, let's just put the opponent here. This is the traditional game, and then there's how far each one of you have traveled, or how many loops you've made. These are additional game modes that are not part of the original game. Certainly the distance traveled is only a digital thing. Oops, I meant to do this as a AI. So we'll clear the board. Not we'll play against one clever AI. Oh shoot, did I not select? I'm sorry, I did not select the actual rule set. So if you do distance traveled, of course you still want to eliminate your opponent, but you want to do that while also maintaining, you know, long paths. This, I'm not sure if I'll be able to make any significant progress against this AI, because they tend to be pretty tricky. But I'll get out of their way to start and we can see. Oh my goodness. Well, they are really going at it and making every loops and under this every available movement option. I'm gonna hope for the best, hope for a good draw, I suppose, because otherwise I'm going to be eliminated. And this Rachel AI is going crazy with oh no, I misread. Oh, okay, I completely misread the path that I was going to take. So here I am going to make a fool out of myself. Being way behind with my path making here. Making loops and stuff certainly would give you a much better... And what's interesting is I feel like the AI seems to be done there. So what does that mean? Do I get to continue? I think I get to continue for as long as I can. Oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I was thinking if the game is over by the time I... Let's do this. If the game is over by the time somebody is eliminated and I actually have time to or space to make more out of it, I can turn around there with this piece, yeah. So you can kind of get a pretty good idea about what this game is all about. And not gonna say I'm good at it, but I've played it enough to be able to keep a game going for a decent amount of time anyway. This might be where my game ends. I mean, I suppose I could stay alive for one more turn, but it doesn't necessarily give me any additional... I don't need to really stay alive. I'm almost out of options. Alright, well, I suppose that'll be it. And so that's a distance traveled game. Anyway, there's a lot of good stuff about this game. Things that I've noticed are that you know, it's a really simplistic design. I know the beginning the box had, you know, minimum age recommended is 8 years old. I I'm pretty sure a younger audience can play this game as well, especially the digital version that has especially the digital version that doesn't require a whole lot of path tracing on the board. You can just click on the tiles and play. The traditional game took about 15-20 minutes per game. As you can see, it doesn't do nearly that long here. With multiple players, maybe it'll be a little bit longer, but still a few minutes should be all you need. The solo play is fun. Playing against the AI is fun. And you can go to online mode and you can generate a new game, and you can see which of your friends have the game, and you can play against them. There is the fact that you can just pick AI, and drag however many of your opponents into these various basically buckets to make the game more challenging for yourself is really nice. It's super easy to learn. There's not a whole lot going on until you just you just learn as you go. This fuse mode is pretty interesting as well, and really nerve-wracking. It took me a while to get used to it and start chasing a high score, and I ended up pretty high up with my score. I think I got 2,300 or so, and I'm pretty satisfied with that score. It would be interesting to try to beat it at some point, but it's going to be kind of difficult. These additional game modes are nice in the digital version that's not available in the physical board game. The developer himself is actually really passionate about this game, and really willing to listen to suggestions and such. My biggest beef with this game currently in this state, this is one day prior to release, is that these stones pieces are too opaque, and like if this one's sitting here, it's blocking off a good chunk of the path over there, and it's really hard to see, and it becomes an issue when it's in the top left corner. But really, anywhere where your piece is blocking off a good chunk of the path and you can't really see where things are going, just makes it a little bit of a annoyance in trying to have to think through it. Not that it's not possible, but when you're playing, say when you're actually playing in the middle of a game, right there I was trying to click, but you can click and drag, but it doesn't stay. It just shifts right back spontaneously. It'd be nice to have some perspective changing that would actually allow you to see a bit better when you're playing, but the developer's actively working on that, maybe rendering the path, the to be placed path a little bit clearer, or rendering on top of the stone, or making the stone a little bit less opaque. Those are all things that would be good. Yeah, so this game is coming out soon, and it's going to be $10. It's going to be 25% off during launch week on Steam. So definitely anybody who enjoys board games, anybody who has fun with puzzles, especially the solo mode that's not fuse lit. This game right here, I've already started it. Trying to make your longest path or generate the most number of loops. Those are fun games. It's a board game. It's, every time you play, the path's going to be different. Every time you play against AI or other players, it's going to be different. It's endless, replayability, because it's a board game. So I hope that if you're interested, that you check it out. This is the first time I've heard of this game, either board game or digital version, and I'm kind of surprised because it's a fun and casual game. And now with COVID and everything, you can play this game online and maintain your social distancing protocols, whatever it is that you're following. So thanks to Dan at who's the developer of this game sorry, I'm trying to remember the name of the development company, but Thunder. Oh, 1 second, let me look it up. I'm so sorry. But thanks to the developer at Thunderbox Entertainment, that's the name I was going for providing me this review copy. And I had a lot of fun just playing through it and really enjoying it, and would definitely be playing it more. Look forward to trying to catch some oh, here we go. Could have just clicked there, the Thunderbox Entertainment. Anyway, I'm not sure how to see your leaderboards. I don't know if there's a way to access leaderboards, or you have to just play a game and then see what it has to show, you know, where it places you after you're done with the game. The leaderboards definitely show up after you're done with each game, playing online or solo. Anyway, thank you for watching, and definitely check out this game. It's a lot of fun, really relaxing, except for the fuse mode, which is also kind of fun after you get used to it, for just once you get past the mental hurdle of needing to play something that's timed. Of course, that's not for everybody, but that's okay. This game has a lot of different replay value, and it's definitely worth your time and money. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a nice day. Bye bye.